Coming up today on your Ignite News, have you ever wanted to learn how to develop a smartphone app?
Apps really do know no boundaries. So there needs to be an app, and there probably will be an app one day for just about everything.
We get a front row seat to Mohawk's accessibility project, and Mohawk students get a chance to help the environment.
Environment, the earth rules us. We don't rule it.
All that and more coming up on Ignite News.
Good morning and welcome to Ignite News for Wednesday, April 3rd. I'm Eric Carpenter.
And I'm Marcy Colbert. Here's what's making news.
Ontario's Cancer Care Agency says almost 1,000 chemotherapy patients over the past year have received watered-down medication. The treatment in question contained too high a percentage of saline solution, which dilutes the drugs that treat various cancers. 17 patients at Windsor Regional Hospital have died, but the overall body count is still unknown.
A new campaign uses awkward humor to target social smoking. Ignite News reporter Chelsea Kaufman has more.
Are you a social farter? Recent hype over a YouTube video has young people talking. The video is part of the Quit the Denial campaign to stop social smoking. Manager of Tobacco and Youth Engagement, Mary Green, explains.
The philosophy behind this campaign is very much based in tobacco industry denormalization. And so we know that the tobacco industry got the people addicted that they got over the years through normalizing the behavior, so making it normal to smoke. And what these ads do is that it makes it look like it's not normal behavior, or it's not okay, it's not socially acceptable.
David Jensen, the media relations coordinator for the Ministry of Health, says that media was chosen based on its ability to effectively capture the target as they go about their day. Through the digital portion, we have chosen sites with a high reach against the demographic, when they are out with their friends and are therefore more likely to engage in social smoking.
It's far more effective to tie something to a social aspect of their life than just to focus on the negative health effects. But this is a really great way to kind of like send the message home.
Using social media proves to be an effective tactic in spreading awareness. As the number of page views goes up, so too does the conversation to spread awareness on quitting smoking. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Chelsea Kaufman.
Students at Mohawk College Fennell campus had a chance to see how they can help protect the environment at Sustainapalooza. Ignite News reporter Brady Livingston has the story.
Mohawk College's Sustainability Office and the MSA partnered to bring the second annual Sustainapalooza to the Arnie. The fair packed in 24 exhibitors, many of which were smaller Hamilton-based operations. Greg Lenko is the project coordinator of the Escarpment Project. The goal of his project is to clean up the escarpment, an area that has become littered with trash as the years have gone by. Lenko explains why he got involved at the event.
I do environmental cleanups, and someone from Mohawk College heard about it and invited me to come out and promote it here. And so I thought it would be a fantastic way to get more people involved and have more people learn about the importance of a clean environment.
Lenko's efforts gained popularity through the use of social media.
I did some videos, put them on YouTube and Facebook, and it's turning out to be one of Canada's largest volunteer environmental cleanups ever.
The Escarpment Project continues on April 7th when volunteers can join Lenko for a hike along the escarpment to pick up trash, followed by a barbecue. Environment Hamilton is another small local exhibitor that participated at the fair. Project manager Beatrice Ikoko explains what the organization is all about.
Environment Hamilton's been around for almost 12 years, and what we do is we help Hamiltonians gain the skills that they need to protect and enhance the environment.
Sustainapalooza as a whole helped Mohawk students realize just how essential the environment around them is, and that sustainability is important to everybody.
The environment, the earth rules us. We don't rule it.
Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Brady Livingston.
Hamilton and Burlington mayors oppose increasing property taxes to pay for the upcoming Hamilton-Toronto Metrolinx transit plan. Increasing taxes was one of 11 options Metrolinx proposed as a way to pay for the Big Move, a $34 billion light rail transit strategy. Other ideas include development charges, highway tolls, and sales tax. The plan is set to be discussed with the mayors further at the end of April. The strategy is due to the province by June 1st.
Mohawk will be debuting some new continuing education programs about smartphone applications this summer, and I took a look into the details behind the programs.
I can draw this with a pen, I can like...
Mohawk College will be launching 3 new programs about developing smartphone applications. There will be a part-time course specializing in each popular smartphone brand: iPhone, BlackBerry, and Android. Mohawk will be buying the online courses from Conestoga College through Ontario Learn. The course will also be taught by an instructor at Conestoga College. Ontario Learn coordinator Shelley Kitchen says students who take the courses will be getting a lot of experience for the working world.
They'll be doing designing, developing, testing, using the technology necessary. The BlackBerry one will be dealing with the tablet and the phones. The iPhone will be, or the iPad one will be looking at the iPad and the iPhone and so on. So whatever technology, plus the designing, development, and the application of it.
Media professor Peter Morin says he thinks the new courses are a great idea for Mohawk students due to the rising popularity of smartphone applications.
I think it's a wonderful idea for Mohawk College because apps really do know no boundaries. So there needs to be an app, and there probably will be an app one day for just about everything.
The courses will make their debut this summer from May 10th to August 16th. For Ignite News, I'm Marcy Colbert.
According to new studies, Ontario may have a serious drinking problem. The Ontario Medical Association has determined that about 80% of Ontario reports drinking alcohol and 15% admit drinking heavily. The association is releasing a policy paper on April 17th containing several ideas for reducing these numbers. One such idea involves targeting potential teenage drinkers by stressing moderation instead of abstinence. In light of this survey, we asked you, Mohawk, how far is too far when it comes to drinking?
Well, I think too far is when people are like crazy crawling on the floor.
When you're embarrassing, falling all over yourself, and anything with drinking and driving, pretty awful.
I guess when you're, falling over and dancing on tables, I'm pretty sure that's pretty far.
And if you can't talk to your grandmother while you've been drinking, you've had too much.
I'd say probably about 3 or 4, right, depending on how much you drink. Yes, when it comes down to it, it's more along the lines of how responsible you are and when you do. So when you do have a vehicle, never drink and drive, right? It's for the safety of yourself and safety of others.
Mohawk is raising awareness about accessibility. We're joined in the studio by Ignite News reporter Lauren Smith, who took the wheelchair challenge and is here to tell us how her outlook changed. Lauren, I understand the challenge was hard to overcome. What have you learned after your experience?
Thanks, Marcy. I learned that people who use a wheelchair every day have stronger arms than I thought. Here's a first-person perspective of what I had to do.
At Mohawk's Accessibility Day, I hopped into a wheelchair to take it for a spin. The ramp was the most challenging part of the experience. Right off the bat, I had to get up the ramp while I still wasn't quite acquainted with the chair yet. It took a lot more arm strength and coordination than I'd expected. If I let go, I'd slide right back down and have to start over again. I really began to appreciate what some people have to go through every day. After the ramp, I took my tired arms up to the learning center to pick up my next challenge. I ran into Anthony Frazina, who works with accessibility services at the school. He and I have talked about the school's accessibility before, and he says that while it's not perfect, the school has come a long way in the last 10 years. At this point, I got stuck. One of my wheels had turned inward and I couldn't get it free. Without being able to reach the wheel or use my feet to fix it myself, I had to rely on someone else to come help me get realigned. Once my wheel was back in line, I was able to complete my final challenge and then head down to the student services desk to end my trip. Lots of students took the wheelchair challenge that day, and hopefully they all started to realize what I did, that wheeling around in a chair is much harder than it looks. Reporting for Ignite News, I'm Lauren Smith.
Now let's take a look at what's coming up in weather, entertainment, and sports.
Hi, I'm Ashley Sagato, and here's what's coming up in weather. Today we will receive some flurries. Tonight we can expect to see some drastic weather changes leading into Thursday with sunny weather. All that and more coming up on Ignite News.
I'm Noah Salo. Coming up on Ignite Entertainment. The U.S. courts have ruled that reselling digital media is illegal and Jane Henson has died. This and more on Ignite News Entertainment.
I'm Greg Rosser. The NHL trade deadline is finally upon us. I'll tell you who to watch, and the Blue Jays home opener didn't go quite to plan. All that coming up in sports.
And here's a look at today's top stories. 1,000 Ontarians were given the wrong chemotherapy. The new Metrolinx proposals have some people up in arms, and Ontario's doctors are urging people to watch their drinks.
It's cold today, but spring is just around the corner. Let's spring over to Ashley for your weather update.
Thanks, Eric. Spring has finally sprung with some warm weather. In Hamilton, we will begin to see a mix of sun and cloud with a high of 3 degrees, with flurries greeting us in the morning. Toronto will see a high of 3 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Niagara Falls and London will be cloudy with a high of -2. London has a possible chance of light snow. Windsor can expect a beautiful sunny day with a high of -3. Taking a look at the next 24 hours in Hamilton. In the evening, flurries will be ending. We can expect to see a high of 3. Winds will be gusting northwest up to 30 kilometers an hour with a UV index of 5. Tonight will be clear with a low of -5. Tomorrow will be mainly sunny with a high of 5. Winds will be gusting southwest at 30 to 50 kilometers in the morning. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast. Tomorrow will be mainly sunny with a high of 5. Friday we will see the sun with a high of 4. On Saturday we can get some clouds with a high of 4 with a low of -7. Sunday will be cloudy with a 70% chance of they missed a word, with a low of 2 and high of 9. Lastly, Monday will be cloudy with a 60% chance of showers with a low of 1 and a high of 6. And that's it for your weather. Let's check in with Noah for your entertainment update. Do they miss words in this?
Thanks, Ashley. Lots of people enjoy buying and selling used media like CDs, DVDs, and video games. But what about reselling digital media? Redigi has made a business of reselling used digital music files, but a U.S. federal judge has ruled the company is guilty of copyright infringement. Redigi based its business on the U.S. first sale doctrine that allows for the resale of goods, but the court ruled that Redigi's business model does not fall under this doctrine because unlike a CD or DVD that is handed over to a new owner, transferring digital media involves making a copy, regardless of whether or not the original is deleted. Now let's take a look at what's happening around the campus.
Maple Leaf Monster Jam is celebrating its 10th anniversary in 2013, and the action comes to Hamilton on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th. Cops Coliseum will host the most exciting form of family motorsports. The event starts at 2 on both days. Mohawk's Health, Wellness, and Fitness students present the 2nd Annual Health and Wellness Expo. The event is free to attend for all friends, family members, and members of the community. The expo will be happening on Monday, April 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Brantford Campus Gymnasium. On Tuesday, April 8th, it's DeWalt Day at Mohawk's Start Campus. The event will take place from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and the festivities will include a free barbecue, food trucks, and tool demonstrations. That's all for your community calendar. Let's go back to the newsroom.
Jane Neville Henson, wife of the late Muppet creator Jim Henson, has died of cancer on Tuesday morning. She was 79. Neville Henson was instrumental to the early development of the Muppets. She was a performer as well as a puppet designer and builder. She and Henson met in a puppetry class at the University of Maryland in 1954, and the two married in 1959. That's a wrap for your entertainment. Time to pass it over to Greg with sports.
Thanks, Noah. The NHL trade deadline is finally upon us. With 3 huge trades already completed in the form of Jaromir Jagr to the Bruins, Ryan Cloud to the Rangers, and Jerome McGinley to the Penguins, it's now predominantly a netminder watch. With Mika Kiprasov, Nikolai Habibulin, Ryan Miller, and even Roberto Luongo still on the list of possible moves to watch, this year's trade deadline is already more eventful than the last. Moving over to baseball, the Blue Jays kicked off their season opener, or their home opener last night against the Indians, which left them falling short 4-1. By starting R.A. Dickey, the Jays established him as their ace. However, there are still questions whether or not J.P. Arancibia is the right guy to catch for him. Despite the loss, thanks to a flurry of moves and acquisitions in the offseason, the Toronto Blue Jays are one of the favorites to win the World Series. That's it with me for sports. Let's pass it back to Eric and Marcy.
And that's all your news for Wednesday, April 3rd. For more news coverage, check out our website at ignitenews.ca. I'm Eric Carpenter.
And I'm Marcy Colbert. Thanks for watching, Mohawk.
Sustainable and economic. That most likely have an impact on surgery.